A true and faithful relation would pass for many years between Dr. John Dee and some spirits, 1659, Meric Casaubon. Representing holy, praga. It says Jesus mercy. That's a different note there. Monday, January 28th. Hora. Tenthera. Oration Dominica eo arias pro misericordia divina fusis precibus extemporandis. After diverse, pitiful complaints of her frailty and calling for favor, grace, and mercy, he appeared and said, "Let the heavens prepare themselves to hear, the earth scatter herself before my voice, for I am the trumpet of the highest, and the piercing spirit dispersed into all creatures which are from the beginning in God, and made to his glory, and the use of mankind, that is, man, he might be glorified. Give ear, therefore, gird up your garments, and scatter your hair abroad before the Lord, which is glorified in me, and through whom I speak, and these are my words. Harden not your hearts against the Lord, neither exalt yourselves above him that has created you, but humble yourselves and consider your flesh mortal, transitory, and full of sin." I guess before we continue here, okay, the heaven, if you think of that as the ascent and the earth as the descent, but you're preparing yourself to exalt yourself, and that lower stuff you're putting it aside, or at least it's not for itself anymore. You're scattering. It's just a means. It's not it's not the thing. I could go further, but I guess my brethren, the entity said, my brethren, sin and flesh appear not before the Lord, neither such as are sinners, and fleshly vessels apt are fit for the Lord to dwell in. Understand what the Lord is, and how great he is, a judge to the wicked, great and terrible, a Father to the holy and sincere, just, full of mercy and loving kindness. If you now, therefore, be holy, and put on the garments of innocency, and walk before him in righteousness, then look to have the reward of children. Then look for his fatherly mercies and loving kindness. Then rejoice at the garments of glory prepared for you. In the margin, if, and continuing, but if you seek him in judgment and stir him up to wrath and anger, if you cause him to call the terrible thunders provided for the wicked about him in the most furious flames of his indignation, to gather you together like whirlwinds, if you draw his holy angel from you and spoil you of your arms, if he sit down upon the mouth of vengeance and arm himself with righteousness against your wickedness, and the margin, but if, and continuing, then look for the horrible and unspeakable reward of the wicked, and the consuming fire of justice, sharper than the two-edged sword, who hath stood before the Lord in justice, or who dare quarrel with the highest. What flesh hath seen from the Lord in his majesty, or can appear before him as righteous? Tear yourselves, therefore, in pieces, and fall down before the Lord. Worship him as a father, and become his children. For his judgments, my brethren, are terrible, and his wrath is without measure. Many ways are you bound and tied unto God. As by disciples you learn. So they're commanding yoga here. But 3 special ways you have been advanced by him more than your brother or sister have been. The first is the visitation wherewithal he hath comforted you, and exalted you above the worldlings of his good, pure, and just ministers of eternity and light. And we'll find